Let's talk about the bilateral itself. Yes, we're focusing on the G20 Summit and all of the big bang arrivals. But today, the big headline is going to be US President Biden's touchdown in the national capital and then the bilateral with Prime Minister Modi, which will happen in 30 minutes after his arrival in Delhi. So what's on the agenda? What will be the talking points? First, on the defense front, there are two issues to look out for. One is the GE jet engine deal. This has been, in fact, in the talks since the Prime Minister's visit in June. So the stage has been set. There will be momentum essentially in that direction as far as the GE jet engine deal is concerned. The other is about attack drones. The MQ-9 Reaper drone deal is expected to be another big defense breakthrough in Indian-US ties. What else is on the agenda? There's going to be talk of artificial intelligence, exchange of technology on that front, regulation also, telecom deals, 5G, 6G. There will be a discussion on that. Besides that, nuclear deals. India and the United States are looking at firming up their nuclear ties. The civil nuclear cooperation has been at a stalemate for the last few months, but they will be looking at pushing forward, particularly India, to ensure the construction of nuclear reactors in Andhra Pradesh. Economic cooperation as expected, besides what's expected really in the G20 Summit between India and America. They will be looking at boosting economic cooperation. Investment and bank reform. Again, two very important points. Something that again is repeatedly raised during these bilaterals will be raised. We'll know what are the takeaways post the bilateral when there will be a joint address. Security, diplomatic challenges, very important. This considering that the US is also keeping a very, very keen eye right now on China. So they'll want to ensure that they continue their great ties with us in India because that means essentially for them advantage against China. And it's taking forward from that also that there will be a discussion on the situation along the Indo-Pacific border because again, there is a huge stake that the US has in that conversation. All of this will be brought up essentially in fact, the bilateral that will happen. We're going to keep a firm focus on really the US-India talks. What are the takeaways expected? Biden, the US president, is expected to land at 7 p.m. this evening. In the meanwhile, let's take a look at what's happening in the streets of the national capital. Aishwarya Paliwal is joining us live with more from ITO. Aishwarya, what's happening around you? I know that a lot of people are trying to get to their workplaces. Many places, offices have declared work from home. There are some who are functioning. Are they being allowed? Are locals being allowed to travel without any problem?
Well, most of the locals are being allowed, just what they really need to show is a document which proves that either they have work or they stay in the central Delhi area. Without the passes, if you just want to loiter around, then that is something that the Delhi police and all the agencies, the authorities, the security forces will not allow you to do so. And as the day progresses, Akshita, because that's the time when most of the top leaders will be descending in the national capital, the security will get tightened. And that's the reason why they have said that even some metro stations, will be working just partially, and the Supreme Court metro station, which is barely a few meters away from the Bharat Mandapam, will remain shut on 9th and 10th. So the security arrangements have been made, but just in case you need to travel or you need to cross the central Delhi area, you just need to show your documents because most of the areas, like you see the barricading here, most of the areas, and this is ITO, very close to Connaught Place, most of the roads, going in and out of Connaught Place have also been barricaded. A lot of police personnel on most of these places, very strict checking of the passes and of the documentation at the moment because the security forces, Akshita, cannot cannot afford a slip up. That's the reason why we are seeing such tight security, and as the day progresses, we will see the security being tightened, and 9th and 10th, this entire area will be cornered off. If in case you really need to travel, just show your documents. If you have a train or if you have a flight to catch, you can show the ticket. All those things you need to keep handy. Only then will you be allowed to move in and around the central Delhi area.
All right. Thanks very much, Aishwarya, for getting us that live report. Aishwarya reporting from a crucial part of the national capital and getting you all of those updates on roads to avoid and what the situation is in the national capital if you're looking to travel right now in Delhi.